It would be all too easy to blame COVID for the disconnections in our lives, wouldn't it? The warm hugs, the genuine, sincere smiles, the companionship of those who uplift our spirits. But it would be a deception to claim that it was COVID's fault. COVID came instead to show us what it is that we have lost, by forcing us away from the lifestyles that we have chosen, full of rush and care and stress and burdens of debt and disconnections from loved ones and friends and family, in pursuit of what people have called success, instead of the sweet simplicity of authentic living. But what if genuine, simple living were possible? Welcome to the possibility. Chibero Akatsa has found a way, and she has broken out of the mold that the world has tried to force everybody to live in. She constructed her home out of the earth according to a design that was birthed in her imagination. And the cost, in a neighborhood with so much pressure, barely nothing. She has broken the stigma that modern living has told you was impossible to break. But would you dare to take a walk away from what you have called life and enter into a normal where you could simply live and life was simply sweet? Come with us on this journey as we explore how she did it and unearth the thing in your heart that secretly desires to do it. Hello and welcome to another episode of Msingi Africa Television. I am your host, Choma Phillips, and today we are sitting in the Garden of Eden. I kid you not, the Garden of Eden with Chibero of Chibero.com. She has so many different levels and layers to her. I'm not even going to try and summarize. What brought her, or rather what brought us to her doorstep, was her house. And as the conversation is unfolding, we're discovering so many other things that we hope in time we'll be able to begin to share with you. But we will try and focus on the house.
I will try.
Welcome, Chibero.
Oh, thank you.
And thanks for having us.
Oh, you are so welcome.
I'm so excited to be here.
Oh.
So I have to tell you, the first thing that we heard when we came here was just the silence, the lack of cars and hooting, and we heard the birds, and it was just serenity that just embraced us as we entered this place. Tell us about the Garden of Eden and how it came to be, and then we will talk about the rest.
We'll talk about the rest. Oh, thank you so much. I was so excited when I read about what your magazine is about. It's like, yeah, thank you, Lord, for putting us in contact, because you're people after my own heart. So we're family, isn't it? And we truly are family. We bought this plot of land in 1998, and at the time was still in the UK and had one of the houses built, but it was pretty much nothing was here apart from, wild grass and everything. Anyway, we moved back and I really got into the gardening. I love gardening, I love landscape, but I am also a totally outdoorsy person and so connected to nature. And that is how I believe I came to know the God, our God, my Father, the Creator. And when I was thinking about what name can I give this place, He dropped it into my heart, the Garden of Eden. And that is for a very good reason, because when I when I first got to know the Lord, when I became born again, my favoriteest book was Genesis, because of all the creation, the nature. At the time I didn't know, it was so far away, but it's all a journey. Anyway, so it's like, I see the connection, nature, because I was so fascinated by the way God created. When you think about it, it's like, oh man. So that was already the connection, and that's how it came to be called Garden of Eden. So that explains the whole. And it's funny because it just becomes, from the name, it has just become that. And it's become more of a healing garden or a healing space. And when I've had, say, when I was practicing a lot, my psychotherapy when my clinic was running, all you had to do was just come and sit. And it's like, let the Holy Spirit do the rest of it. So that is how it came to be known as the Garden of Eden, and to be the way it is.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful.
Yeah, I thank God.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you shared on Facebook, which is how I eventually ambushed you online, about the house that you built from the earth itself, using traditional practices. Please tell us about the inspiration behind that. Why did you go that way?
Wow. Do you know, when I was little, I loved playing with mud outside. Those are the things, when you look back, they were saying who you are.
Right.
I loved it. I used to make model houses, grass houses, you name it. And basically what happened was, before I put this up, I had 3 other mud huts in this area. I had 3 other mud huts, but they were more about, they were like a summer school for kids. When they were on holiday, little ones, they would come and they would get to learn about the environment, as well as about what God has provided for us to actually live. They'd never seen anything mud, a mud house. For a lot of people, when you talk to them about mud houses, they immediately have a heart that's dark, that's cold, because that's what has been spread around, even adults.
Yes.
And I realized that not very many children actually go up country to see the reality, to see where we are coming from as human beings. Anyway, so those 3 mud huts was a holiday camp for children, and we did a lot of outdoor stuff. We did gardening. We talked about how God gave us mud to create things like homes, and this is how we have come to create. And we made little mud huts for ourselves, for them to take home. I introduced them to the long drop toilet, and it's like, because the way we're bringing up our children now, they will lose this. They have no idea about, just the original, the authentic, our ancestors, how we lived, the peaceful lifestyle, you don't have to have everything. And they absolutely loved it because it was different, and they got to touch and see cows, because I also it was old McDonald's farm. They got to know where milk comes from. They got to know where carrots and tomatoes, and a lot of kids are losing all that stuff. So that's what happened with those. And then from that, I kept on thinking, I want to build something else, something that is going to speak to people about life, about how we all came from one place, what we need in life to live an intentional, fulfilled, purpose-filled life. And this came up, and I did a model. I just drew it out. I did a model, and then I realized, you know what? There are many of these kinds of houses being built abroad, but because in the African context, many of us will not accept because the West is best. And in the West, they call it cob houses. And they can stand for so long.
Yes.
And they're actually really beautiful houses, and they're unique.
Yes.
But I realized with us here, until we see a Mzungu doing it, sorry if there's any Mzungu watching, but until we see a Mzungu doing it, only then will we accept it. And I had experiences of that, you know, when I built a mud smoker, because I used to smoke as well, smoke meat, smoke, you know, that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And I would sell them, you know. And what I realized was we need to start preserving our culture. We need to let people know that we too had and have those building skills. They're just not Western. And that the houses that our parents lived in, they worked. And they can stay up, and you can make it however you want to make it, and you don't have to spend much money. So I started this project, and I loved it. I loved it, and the people who were helping build, you know what? I knew where to get people to build what I wanted. I knew what my vision was, and I had it down on this little model I'd done. And I got to realize that even the people who are helping me build, they have to get their minds renewed as well. And people were telling me, but you're in Karen. How can you build a mud house? No, I know what I want, and I know exactly how I want it, and this is how we're going to do it. So there was like a struggle there in educating them to let them know that, you know what, so what? Yeah, I'm in Karen, but that doesn't mean I have to go around. This is who I am, basically.
Exactly. Sorry, for those who don't know, Karen is a high-end, considered to be a high-end, upper-class neighborhood, the kind where you'll see houses with pools and huge compounds, well-manicured lawns, you know, the type. Right. So
well manicured lawns.
Well manicured lawns, yes. Precisely and geometrically built structures, because that is how you're going to announce your arrival in the world.
I've arrived. Right. I have so arrived.
So Shivera has come and has destroyed the whole paradigm with such beauty and style, sweetness.
Oh, bless you, bless you.
Back to you.
So yeah, I had people coming and asking. My neighbors were so curious. The houses next door were built by Chinese. Even the Chinese wanted to come, but I said, no one is entering this compound, because this is like seeing my heart.
Yes.
And when you get inside, it speaks of who I am. I recycled a lot of stuff. I made it very creative, and for people who like to dot their I's and cross their T's, this might not be for you, but you can do what you want with soil. So yeah, it went up in less than it was about 6 months to a year. It was up, and it followed the traditional Western Kenyan style of building traditional homes. Which again, going back up country, people don't seem to be appreciating the building skills. It is a skill, and we need to preserve it. So part of the reason for this house is about we're preserving our building skills, the African building skills, and we can also temper it to make it livable within the 21st century, so that it's not just this vision of a dark hut up country. So that's one of the reasons why it went up, to educate and to preserve. Then the other thing is recycling. I have recycled so many things, and it comes back to what do you have in your hand. Many of us rush out and we buy so many expensive things, and it's like, what is the purpose of one? What is the purpose of your home? And then what is the purpose of having to spend so much money when most of the time you're not going to be in there? So why don't you try recycling what you already have? And most of the time we've got so much that we just chuck away. So, it's again trying to educate people to just stop, think, be intentional about when you are building. What is the purpose? What is your purpose at the end of the day?
Yeah.
What is your motivation?
Right.
Is it you want people to see I'm living in a huge thing, which you're hardly ever there, you hardly get to enjoy, or you're living in a home that you use all the rooms and you... Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean. There isn't a room locked away somewhere that you never
that
see.
is never seen,
gathering
that is
dust,
never used.
becomes a store.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. A lot of us grew up in homes that we used every single bit of the home. It was a home. And then a lot of us also played on the outside.
Yes.
And the purpose of this again was, it is a home.
Yeah.
That every room can be used, and the garden is friendly in that it can also be used when you want to sit and hang out, when you want to go and pluck something from the garden and flowers and that kind of stuff. So that's the story of the house. And since then I've had a lot of curiosity. Some people, like I was telling you, can't live in a place like this because it's too nini for them. It's not switched on. It's not modern. It's not,
Yeah.
So I keep telling people, me, I'm a minimalist, bottom line.
Yes.
And I'm a nature, I don't want to say freak, but I love nature.
Love nature.
When I'm sleeping at night, I hear the owls, I hear I hear all that.
Amazing.
I see the moon coming in, the light coming in through, the transparent mabati.
Wow.
And I feel so safe. You wouldn't believe the feeling of just safety and at home. At home. And I think a lot of it also has to do with my spirituality. I feel, this is who I am.
See, a lot of people, like our parents' generation and onwards, were convinced that living in houses made of earth was low class, or was primitive, or was backward. And so they got themselves into a lot of financial messes and different things in order to acquire houses that were made of stone. And even now when you travel to rural areas, you see more and more stone houses coming up, and you see
it's true
how complicated life is becoming.
It's true.
In areas where you used to go to just exhale and breathe.
I know.
Yeah. So how do we break out of that mindset and just reconnect to the simplicity of living free and clean from the encumbrances of what the world has called modern?
Yeah.
Because I look at this house and I'm like, I want mine. And we'll get into how you help people get those, but how do we help people cross that bridge from stone house is just stone house, but earth house has these benefits?
There's so many benefits to earth houses. I would start by letting people know, or getting people to understand, that an earth house is much, much, much cheaper. You don't even have to go for the loans, the huge loans, which you then have to pay back. All this soil came from here. It came from here, and I'll show you where back there. All of it. Because those are the main, that is one of the main ingredients in building a mud house. And then I would ask people, what kind of a lifestyle do you want? Not many people stop to think about what kind of a lifestyle they want, or what kind of a lifestyle they're even living. We are just busy. We're just doing. I need to get this, I need to get this, I need to get this. So we don't stop to think about it that much. At the end of the day, we know what it is that we want. We want A, B, C, D, that flat screen, that whatever. That.
Life goals.
Yeah, those. As opposed to values. What values? Is it about having enough time to be with your family? Is it about being able to do things from a place of rest and at peace? Is it, what do you want out of life? even whilst you're working. And you know, a home can tell you so much about somebody. So much. I've seen very many of them around here. And it's like, yeah, that's not who I am. And I've seen homes in the US, in the UK. I've traveled and I have seen. So this is actually a choice. They've got to make a choice. At the end of the day, what kind of a lifestyle do you want to live? Do you want to get off the, have more of an off the beaten track lifestyle? Do you want to fit in? You want to do what everybody's doing? You want to be seen? You want to be, you know, that kind of thing?
Yes.
Which is what a lot of us are doing. Going back to that story I was telling you about, this guy who came to buy something from me. It was actually a hedge trimmer that he had come to buy. And as he walked in, as he drove in, he just said, as I was driving in, I knew that my wife could not. And that he hadn't even gotten into the house. But he said, just from the outside, my wife would say, Staki, I can't live here.
Yeah.
Or it's you're bundu, you know, kind of thing. So when we got inside the house, you know, he sat down and he was like exhaling. And I asked, so what, he asked me, so you actually live like this? I said, yeah. I mean, what you see is what you get. And then he said, I wish I could live like this. So I asked, well,
why don't you?
Why don't you? Why can't you? You can guess the answer. The answer was my friends, my family, my wife. I can't live like this. So then I said, well, you've made a choice. You've made a choice. But I made this choice. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what people think, what people say. It's got nothing. This is my life here on earth. I have got to live and be true to who I am and who I was created to be.
Yeah.
We spend so much time trying to impress and and people don't care about all that other stuff. But if you fall into the category of people who want to be, do you know who I am types? Do you know the kind of house I live in? Do you know the kind of car you're going to, then this is not for you. So it's a choice that they have to make at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's true. You help people who want to build these houses.
Yeah. Yes. I'm hesitating because I've been trying to figure out how to best do it. And I've concluded that I'll be running workshops.
Okay.
Well, I'll give you all the information. So that would be one workshop, how to build. The other thing that I'll be doing is running, again, sort of a questions and answer day with an African meal, because all this is tied in with traditional natural foods that we used to eat. So
it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. It's a total lifestyle. Natural. That's why I was saying, natural medicines. Here we come. And this other one will be like maybe half day, and it's purely talking about questions and answers after you've seen the house. Then the other thing I was thinking alongside that the first one, where you come and I tell you how to build, will be purely from my perspective. I don't want to get into construction, but I want to tell you here, this is how you do it, and now you can go do it. If you need any kind of questions, if you have questions and you need answers, then that is going to be consultancy. Because I realized many people want something for nothing, and that is not okay, folks. It's like even friends, and it's like, no, you guys, I too have to earn a living, and this I've been gifted. God has gifted me, and I've been able to build this. But you're getting skills and stuff from me. So that's what I'll be doing. The other one is I'd like to run a workshop on simple living, the simple lifestyle. for those people who really want to understand how to live a distressed life and to be true to themselves. That would be wonderful.
That would be wonderful.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people are struggling with stress, and to learn how to de-stress would
Yes. And to just be able to shake off all these, I am so-and-so's wife, so I need to look a certain way. I am so-and-so, I'm the head of, I don't know which organizer. We wear so many masks that have trapped us.
Yes.
Because we are trying to be what the world is asking us to be, as opposed to what is God asking me to be.
Yeah.
You know, I'm called to be real, to be authentic. And we've got the Holy Spirit to walk with us and to teach us all that.
Yeah.
So it's down to us.
So the house, and then you have a farm, and everything else is an extension of living simple.
Absolutely.
So what do you have in your garden?
I've got bananas. I've got those are stewing bananas and sweet bananas. I've got the Kenyeji vegetables. I've got the spinaches. I've got the cabbages. I've got the sukuma wikis, the danias, the lettuces. Because I love greens. I really love greens. I recently got rid of my chickens, but I'm bringing them back again. I love chickens. And they would be roaming around, and you get to understand through nature how even animals, especially domesticated animals, want your company.
Wow.
You know, when I'm out here working on the laptop, they would come round and, you know, look at you. It's wonderful. There's so much you can learn from nature. So yeah, so I've got the home stuff. So a lot of the stuff that I'm buying would be things like the rices, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's really for home use more than anything else.
Yeah.
And I've got herbs, a lot of herbs. I've got the drinking aloe vera there, and
it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. It's wow. We're grateful that you shared it with us. We're just grateful to be in this space. It's just, it's so serene. It's really serene.
You can hear the birds, huh?
Yes. So, tell us about the health benefits of living in a space like this one. They have to be multiple.
Yes. There are very, very many. Every morning when I wake up, I can feel the environment actually speaking to my heart. And it's about being able to be connected to nature, being connected to God, because originally the Garden of Eden, there was that direct contact with God. You know, they would be walking and talking, and at the end of the day there would be that, so how was your day, and that kind of thing. So here, the benefit of living in an environment like this is it's actually connects me so totally spiritually to our Father.
Right.
And I realize that when I do not have this, say I go away for maybe a week or something, and I don't have this, I find my spirit's feeling suffocated.
Wow.
And I have got to get back into a space where I'm connected to nature.
Yeah.
Because it's very true. God is in nature, all heavens declare the glory of our living. We sing these worship songs about God in nature worshiping Him. The birds, they're continually singing and worshiping Him all day. The oceans coming and going, they're all worshipping. And for me, it is a continuous worship being in an environment like this, which brings peace. And when I find myself stressed, I think I was telling you, I come and I lie on the trampoline. If not on the trampoline, I'll go across and I'll lie on the grass, and I will just look up into the sky, and I will feel the wind, and I will feel the whisper of the wind. I'll feel it against my body. I will hear the birds. And it's that disconnect from man, from the noises, the man-made noises. Some of them can't be helped, but it is that be still and know that I am the Lord your God.
Yeah.
That's why I love this place, and that's why it's got that healing. Because you have to stop.
Yes.
You have to leave all your busyness outside. So I don't have much of a choice, but I love it because that's what I wanted. So yeah, it is spiritually totally connecting with the Father, with who we were created to be. And that speaks to our souls deep down. That's where the Spirit is, and God calling, and God, touching you, touching base with you. And yeah, I mean, what more can I say? But also when it comes to the way mud houses are constructed, from the beginning, it's about when it's hot outside, it's cool inside. When it's cold outside, it's warmer inside. And again, that is just naturally regulating itself.
Amazing, yeah.
I mean, I think God's absolutely amazing.
He is.
And that's been there ever since. So you don't really have to do much. Then also, when we're building with stone and everything, those things have got gases. They emit gases, and we've dug them up, and you've breathed in, you've done all that stuff. Let me tell you what, those things actually affect you. They affect your health. They do. They actually affect your health. Is you're worse off in a stone house because of the stone, the digging, the building, and the materials we're using to build, than here where you've tried to keep everything natural. Because with nature, with natural stuff, you can't really go too wrong, can you really?
No. Because
that's how we were born and created in the Garden of Eden. That's where it started. I just want to read you something that I was reading last night that I found very, very interesting. It's called, come on, Eden, the first home. Genesis 2 verse 8, and then Genesis 3 to 24. God himself made for Adam and Eve their first earth home.
wow.
And a beautiful home it was. We shall call it a garden home. We shall call it a garden home. God chose a place from which 4 rivers flowed, and there he planted a large garden. So already he has stated that their first house was made of earth, was an earth home. But we are sure that no park which man has made could be so lovely as was the Garden of Eden. It just caught me there, their first earth home.
There's a way that you share this home with people if people want to come and stay here?
Yes.
How do you do that?
I do that through what we call Airbnb, which is you find their website, you check it out.
We'll share the link with you.
We'll share the link with you. And basically you book, and when you book, you take the whole house, and it's self-catering, and you enjoy the environment, and it's a perfect retreat.
It is.
So Airbnb would be the best way to go. It's got 3 rooms. If you needed to add maybe another bed, then we could talk about that. But normally it's 3 people, but we can work with your needs. Yeah.
Lovely. So you have an opportunity to actually enjoy the space that we've been enjoying. Doesn't matter what part of the world you're in.
No, it doesn't at all. You're so welcome. You're very, very welcome. We can even do, if you wanted to, we can do traditional Kenyan meal. I won't say African, Kenyan for you, because that's the other part that...
you also do food.
Nice. Can also do food. Yeah. Karibuni.
You heard it from her herself. Thank you so much for hosting us today, thank you for visiting with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for subscribing. For those who have subscribed, if you haven't, please subscribe, ring that bell, like and share this video with those who you know will appreciate this story.
Yes.
And just ask yourself, the life you're living, how does it make you feel about you, about life in general?
Absolutely.
Because as you can see from her and her life, there's ways in which you can tone down
you can.
the pressure and the stress.
Absolutely.
And be your authentic self.
Amen.
So thanks again for taking time. The link to her Airbnb is in the description below this video. And we will see you next time. Thanks again.